this fucking. How's that? I had to use my cable to charge a battery, and then I forgot to replug in the sound. I sat here for maybe 30 minutes setting everything up, and it was perfect, and then I started and it wasn't perfect. Yes, I'm sorry. I apologize. Wow. Horrible beginning, sorry. But things are a little bit better today. Things are a little bit better. Before I talk about how my worldview has shifted, like completely, like 190, like I don't know, 190. It's so flipped that I went beyond 180. I bought a new light, so feeling good about this. This light feels really nice. I was gonna get another one, but they didn't have it. But that's good. I feel like now I've got good balance with this light and that light, so that's good. So it turns out I didn't have the perfect setup, and I spent all day today in the Yodobashi camera all by myself, looking for the perfect gear to improve the live streams, and I believe I have. But what happened today? Just to jump to it, because there's gonna be people asking, like, how is your worldview different? How has your world been a lie? Today I went to Denny's in Japan, which I've done that before. Denny's is great here. It's so much better than Denny's in America. They even have a Denny's with a white sign, which that's not what I went to today. It was the normal yellow sign, but the white sign is really cool because it's run by a cook. Like it's like a more professional way of doing it. So you can get even cooler things on the menu. But that's not what I went to, and that's not what changed my world. I ordered the American Clubhouse sandwich. It's pretty good. And in the middle of this cut of sandwich was French fries. And I like ketchup. I'm a ketchup guy. Always get a ton of ketchup. And there wasn't any when it arrived. I said, excuse me, masen. Where is your manager? No, I didn't say that. I said, sumimasen. Ketchup ga arimasu ka? Dono hen ni arimasu ka? In case, because before when I asked at another place for Parmesan cheese, the lady was very angry at me and says like, it's right there. It's right there. Oh, you know, because the other place they charged me for it, and I thought, oh, can I order? You know, she's like, it's right there. She was angry at me. So I thought, oh my God, I don't want to like get in trouble for like, there's ketchup right there. So I was very polite about it. And he goes, it's on your plate. I'm like, where is it? Oh, this one packet for this entire fries that you've given? You didn't give me a French fry. You gave me a plate, like a plate of fries, like equivalent to maybe a McDonald's 2 small fries. It's a lot. It's enough to warrant more than one packet, wouldn't you say? But you know what? I'm sick of asking for extra ketchup. So I squeezed out the 1 packet of ketchup on the plate. And it was the perfect amount. I used it a little bit sparingly. I was just like, yeah, it's pretty good. And turns out my whole world's been a lie. I don't need that much ketchup. I don't. That's the wrong speaker. There we go. Yeah. That's it, guys. I will now maybe not request extra ketchup because if I really think about it, a lot of times I have too much ketchup. And I open the ketchup just to prove that I needed it. And then I overuse the ketchup just to prove that I'm like that government agency at the end of the year that overuses their budget so that their budget doesn't get cut next year. I don't want to lose my ketchup ration. I want to make sure they understand I need multiple packs of ketchup, but not anymore. From now on, I'm going to believe when the Japanese people say this is enough. Unlike America, where you're like, can I get a ketchup, please? And it's like, here's the entire bag that we got from the ketchup facility. Here it is, right here. Like, we're just gonna scoop out. I'm a UFO catcher. I'm the claw game, but I'm really good at it. Here is your ketchup. And you're like, well, that's a good amount of ketchup. I should put that in my bag in case I ever run out of ketchup. You say one packet's not enough, Kyle, and I say it is. I say what? That's the wrong button. Listen, I'm working on new buttons. I redid my hotkey settings because every time I was doing something in the browser, it was doing a browser thing too. So let's see, which one turns that on? Oh yeah, it's this one. There we go. Anyway, welcome to Japanese Daily, where the goal is not to tell you how my worldview has changed, but to try to be that guy that you need to try to maybe clear up something in Japanese that you have a question on. I'm the guy in the back of the bus or on the train or that you see standing in line for French fries or for ketchup at the Denny's. I'm that guy that's lived in Japan for a long time and has been married to a wife for a long time that's Japanese and has actually taught Japanese. So if you have a question, ask it to me and I'll do my best to answer it correctly. If I don't answer it correctly, trust me, one of you guys will post in the comments the actual truth. And if you want to see a big mistake I made in Japanese for multiple years, go 2 episodes back and you can watch me learn something very important. All right. Ketchup has a lot of sugar, says Sam. Yeah, it does. It does. I'm trying to eat healthier, so that was a good step in the right direction. Yep. Kyle Spevik says, ketchup's good, but its sugar can drown out the other flavors of whatever you're eating. You don't understand. I'm not eating French fries. I'm eating ketchup. I get the fries for the ketchup. That's the thing I think you're misunderstanding. I'm not like, oh, I'd like some fries. I'm like, can I get some ketchup and for my dipper, I'm gonna go with fries. I'm getting the dipper, not the dipping sauce. Do you understand? Same thing for barbecue sauce. I don't get nuggets for the chicken. I'm getting chicken nuggets for the sauce. Just understand. Same thing with the double cheeseburger. I taught this to Ria-chan, who's 10, turning 11 November 11th. I said, Ria-chan, we have an extra ketchup. Do you not want to try dipping the double cheeseburger in the ketchup? And she's like, I've never done that. That's not going to be good. I said, honey, you're just a child. You don't know what's good for you. She said, ja yatte miru. And she dipped it. And I thought she was going to be like a kid and be like anti the adult in the room, you know, who knows food, who's a culinary expert. I thought she was going to deny it and say like, yeah, this isn't good. Oh my God. No, she was like, that is good. And then unprompted, she dipped again. She was like, yeah. And as luck would have it, they gave us an extra double cheeseburger, and they brought it home. And Ria gracefully took the extra packet of ketchup to dip it in. There. I changed lives. That's what I do. I change lives. One child at a time. I change their lives, you know. And Ria, welcome to adulthood, where ketchup is king. KIK. Dan, the man with the pants, says, I just got here. Are we complaining about McDonald's in Japan again? Always giving one packet? If so, I'm here for this. No, I got another complaint about Japan. Oh my God, this angered me so much yesterday, and I forgot to mention in the live stream. This is the ongoing saga of Japan can't think with their brain. The ongoing saga of the client doesn't matter. The person paying for the food has no say in the method of delivery. I was at McDonald's just to get some ice cream. That's all I was there for. I thought, you know, couldn't find another place that we thought was decent. McDonald's was reliable. Just get a chocolate sundae. Flipping through the menu, because it's all digital. Everything in Japan's like the screens now. It's a special thing to go to the people. So I'm like, flip, 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 flip. And I'm like, okay, well, they got this chocolate sundae looking thing. It looks really good, but it's in a cone. Where's the option to have it in a cup? Because other ice creams weirdly can be in the cup, but these cannot. So I ask, excuse me. Actually, I don't ask. You know who asks? Antoine. Antoine took control because I was complaining. I was like, I don't know, man. They don't have it in a cup. Like, what the hell, man? And he's like, just give me a second. Just go over there. Over there. And he was saying, and then he comes back and says, they don't do it in the cup. I'm like, no, they can do it in the cup. If they can put the cone underneath the machine and hit the button for it to go into the cone, they can do it into the cup. So I go over, like the adult that I am, and cry like a baby and say, I don't want the cone. I'm allergic to cones. I have an allergy to cones. I said, I'm sorry. You can do it with straight vanilla, but we can't do it if we pour chocolate over the vanilla. That would be crazy. Do you know how crazy it would be if we put chocolate on top of the vanilla in the cup when it's designed for the cone? Corporate has trained us that there's no way to do this. And I said, listen, you could, I'll pay extra if I have to. Just put the cup under where you're going to hold the cone. Are they pre-made? Is this like a pre-made thing? Because that I understand. Oh no, it's not pre-made. Okay, good. So give it, I want a cup. They said they could only do it for the vanilla cone, which is dumb. It's like, okay, fine, whatever, fine. So I go back to the machine. I'm resigned to doing it. Then the guy comes over. The guy come over that just told me I couldn't do it. He says, if you can order it, and then if you just tell us over here that we can do it. I'm like, oh my God, that's great. So I order it. And then I go over there and I tell him, okay, yeah, I'd like that in a cup. And he goes, oh no, did you order the vanilla cone? No, we can't do the chocolate cone in the cup. Sorry. I'm like, but no. And then Antoine's like, yeah, I told you he could only do that. But he specifically came over and was giving me some instruction on how I could do it. I thought they had figured out a way to do it. I thought they realized a cone and a cup are similar, but no. So I go, fine, I'll take the cone. And then I go upstairs. I'm eating this cone, which is, by the way, pretty damn good. I'm going to say I probably liked the cone. I think it was a good choice, but still angry inside. So angry that one of the people coming upstairs, I think my anger sent out a shockwave, and they had a tray with a shake on it in a cup, I want to point out. I should have ordered a shake. And it dropped to the floor. And then you could see she was flustered. She walked to her table. I said, Antoine, just pick it up for her, dude. Pick it up. She picks it up, but there's like strawberry on the ground. And I'm like, that's what they get for not giving me a cup. He hands it to her. There's still strawberry. One of the staff comes up. I mean, looks like they're going to come up, I'm guessing. They should come up. But right before they come up, the girl coming up right in front of him, foot right in the strawberry. Oh my God, it was beautiful. Because then she trekked it through the entire second floor, not realizing what she had done. And I was just like, if you'd have given me a fucking cup, this shit wouldn't have happened. I had to curse for the moment right now. You have to understand. I normally like to curse on these streams, but that was absolutely retribution from myself. But they had the last laugh because I was still eating. And at one point, as I come in for maybe the third to last bite, the cone cracked, and all of the thing I was trying to avoid, all of the cream just went down my hand, and I said, God, finish that thing off. It's been many years, and Japan still can't do anything outside of the manual. Anything. It's anger. It's anger management for me that I got to go to, guys. Crazy. All right. Dipping burgers in sauces is so good. Hell, I dip pizza. Dude, Kyle, marinara sauce for pizza? Oh my God, it's the greatest thing. It's so healthy. So healthy. Dan the Man says, you're so right about getting fries for ketchup. You're damn right I am. How do you even ask for extra ketchup in Japanese? This is a good question, Kyle. It's a very simple one. It's literally a level 1. Book Japanese from Zero, book 1. Ketchup o mo 2つください or mo 3つください. 3 more. Or just ketchup o 3つください. すいません ketchup o 3つください. Done. And they'll give you however many that you ask for. Now, Moss Burger, if you ask for 1, it's this like tiny little filled cup. If you ask for 2, they put it on like a saucer, it seems, which was nice. And their ketchup's really good. I don't know what they're doing over there, but they have really good ketchup at Moss Burger. Stephen Jacob says, the ice cream machines actually work in Japanese McDonald's. You know, that's one of those memes that I think is just a meme. In my life, I'm trying to think if I've ever been to McDonald's where the machines are down. The only time they're down is right around between midnight and 1 o'clock. They close them for cleaning, and I'm used to that. I just know that I can't order my chocolate sundae at 3 a.m. in the morning. You know, I've noticed that. But beyond that, I think that's just a meme. I've never had them break. I know I've seen videos on like, today we're going to talk about why. The actual reason why McDonald's machines are always down, and the reason will shock you. Watch till the end. Like and subscribe. Hechi Okami says, this is the most important topic to talk about. Unbelievable. It is. It's shady dealings here in Japan where the customer can't get something that they want. Ketchup Mania, a great band. True. Truer words haven't been said, DeWitt. I do like them. It's corn. Corn no allergy ga aru n da yo. What's funny is if I said, like, I have an allergy to sugar, I can only have as much sugar in the chocolate-coated ice cream you're going to give me. But if you give me the cone, it's going to push me up just above my tolerance, and I might die. Are you okay with that? Kyle says, what's funny is I know so many people who are scared to ask restaurants to do things like that. Having worked at a few, they'll do whatever you want if you pay. Well, even in America, even if you don't pay, they'll do it for you. You could ask for, I mean, you could do this dumb thing. I like a cheeseburger with no meat and no cheese, and they'll do it for you. Whatever you want. You can get wrapped in lettuce burgers. When I was trying to not eat a lot of bread, I was like, you know, I'll take an animal style burger. Please chop it up. You could chop it up and put it like in the platter, or you can get it wrapped in lettuce, which is good. McDonald's will wrap them. The McDonald's will wrap them in lettuce. It's really good. But Japan, there's one time, and I said this, I think I said this the other day, but I cannot remember what I asked for. But at McDonald's, I asked it knowing it was going to be a no. And the guy goes, dekinai, and I go, dekiru desho. You can do it. And he goes, hai. And he did it. I don't remember. I wish I could remember what it was. And I was with somebody, but I don't remember who I was with. It must have been Mike, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, God dang it. Why did it skip like that? Again, I think this is a meme that the machines are designed to break. They're not designed to break. My understanding is it's designed so that McDonald's can't fix them when they do break because they want the service contract with the company. So they make the codes really hard to understand. And there was a guy that built like an app or something like that would explain the codes, and he got sued. And he had to remove the app, I believe. I don't remember the whole story. That's like, again, even that might be something I imagined at this point. I usually ask for pickles nashi at McDonald's, but one time I tried saying pickles wa tsukenai de kudasai. I just wanted to see if the sentence would make sense. They gave me the pickles on the side. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's good. That's interesting. But pickles nashi is the way I would have asked for it too. Pickles nashi de onegaishimasu. They can remove things. They can't do things in a different container. They just can't. Oh, there it is. Kyle's talking about it. Yes. A guy made a little device that fixes the machines, but McDonald's took him out. Yeah, that's my understanding. Moss Burger is so good. This is true. When you come to Japan, guys, you have to get Moss Burger. Ask Cat says, when I worked in a pizzeria, some client asked manager to put extra jalapeno on the pizza. Most funny thing that my manager put standard amount of it, and this customer thanked him for the extra jalapeno. Ha. Sad. He should have given him extra. Cleva Dog says, "Hi, I'm trying to increase my immersion." Okay, guys, the game's over. We gotta get to real work here. You guys ready? Hey, hang on. Here we go. Teacher mode. Enacted. Yes. Cleva Dog says, "Hi, I'm trying to increase my immersion in Japanese. I've been watching anime, but that's not usually quote unquote good Japanese. Can you recommend any good podcasts, anime, etc. for beginners? Thank you." I'm going to say something that's maybe a hot take. There is no good input. There's no perfect input. It's all going to be too much. You just have to bear with it. Now you could get even, easier stuff in more children level, like Doraemon. I love Doraemon. You could watch Crayon Shin-chan. Anpanman's actually pretty clean. The problem is, even those are going to have things that are only used in that anime. There's going to be like special things that Doraemon does, or special things they do with the bread heads in Anpanman. There's always something, right? But there's no perfect input. There just isn't. So I think if you're enjoying the anime that you're watching, keep watching it and look up the words that you keep hearing. Learn those weird words that are part of that. I used to watch Obochama-kun, and Obochama-kun, still to this day, like one of my favorites. But they had a lot of like puns and things like that and weird sayings. The funniest thing I remember though, because the thing is, you actually learn things from those anime. And I remember this one episode where Obochama's father is looking for him. Okay. And you need to understand, I'm going to teach you one thing. The sound of silence in America is crickets, right? It's like, if there's silence, if there's no one there, you go crick, 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 crick with crickets. In Japan, there's a sound of silence. It's sheen. It's just like sheen. This sound of nothing, right? So Obochama-kun, his father's looking for him, and he goes into the room, and Obochama-kun's like hiding in a ceiling panel or something, and he's like, they keep cutting back to him all nervous, and his father goes, "Inai nara shin to ie." If you're not here, say sheen. And then Obochama-kun goes, "Sheen." I lost it. It's so funny to me. But that joke, I'll use. If no one's here, say sheen. It's just funny to say, It's like, because it's so similar to a joke I would tell. I would do it as a tour guide when everyone got back on the bus. I would say, "Ja inai kata, mada irasharanai kata, te agete kudasai." Those of you that haven't made it back to the bus, please raise your hand. It's so funny to me, that kind of a joke. And a lot of people wouldn't get it, but the ones that did get it on the bus were like, "Wait, how do you raise your hand if you didn't make it to the bus? You're not, oh, that's the joke, So that kind of a joke, if you're not here, say sheen. Hilarious to me. But I got that from Obochama-kun, so you might get something from whatever you're watching, and I highly recommend. Sorry, just trying to get in a better position here. But I can't recommend a beginner podcast. The only beginner podcast you'd end up getting is like, "Hey, welcome to Japanese for beginners," or "Welcome to Japanese for babies," or whatever. And then you're stuck in not hearing native speed. You're stuck in not hearing the weird things that you'll never learn in those things. So I would prefer that you just watch something that you like. That's what I would be recommending to you. If you're going to take my advice, that's what I would recommend. Black Tango says, "It's always been the Japanese way of doing business. They can't think beyond the box. God damn it." Kyle says, "Wrapped in lettuce burger sounds good. How do you say wrapped?" I don't think they do it in Japan, but it's maita. Lettuce ni maita hamburger. Lettuce ni maite kudasai. Maku is to wrap. Maku. Good question, Kyle. See, look, we took a fun story and now we're learning the verb maku, to wrap. Matter of fact, makizushi and nigiri zushi, right? Wrapped sushi, and nigiru means to clasp in your hand like this. And that's how they make it. They clasp that rice, then they slap the sushi on top. And makizushi is sushi that's been rolled. It's rolled sushi. Makizushi. What's the difference between nakya and nakucha? I believe they're just the same. I don't think there's any actual difference. Ikanakucha, ikanakya. Just like two ways of saying it. It's like saying, I must, well, no, I guess I must go and I gotta go are different, but I have to go and I gotta go. What's the difference? I gotta go, I have to go. Pretty much the same. I can't think of any difference on the back of the bus right now. Big Perm 586 says, I tried watching Comprehensible Input, but it's so boring. Yeah, that's the thing. Comprehensible Input is boring. It makes me want to not learn. I don't care. I want jokes. I want things I don't understand. I want to watch people that look like they're totally having fun. I mean, if you live in Japan, just watch a bunch of variety shows. It's so fun. Watch the over the top, I'm eating food and this is the most delicious thing I've ever had in my life. And it's like food was invented today and it's my first time ever eating food. And I can't believe I didn't eat food up until now. It's the most amazing thing ever. Watch the over the top reactions. They're so fun. Dan the Man with the Pants says, I have every episode of the early Thomas the Tank Engine memorized since I was a kid. So I watched the series in Japanese and learned a lot of words because I already knew what was going on. Now that is actually, oh my gosh, thank you, Dan the Man. That's a great comment. And I used to recommend something similar to that, but for some reason I forgot to recommend it. If you already know a book or a series, watch it in Japanese. For example, I have The Time Machine in Korean and I'm reading it. I started 4 years ago. I got through there. I got to finish it. What happens is I got to buy another copy of it. I have 2 copies already because each time I go to Korea, I'm like, I got to finish the Time Machine book, and then I buy another copy at the used bookstore. But yeah, like Goosebumps, for example. If you like Goosebumps, I have all the Goosebumps in Japanese. Not all. I have a set of Goosebumps in Japanese that I also have the exact same set in English. And I might have bought a whole set in Korean, or at least a few, I don't remember. And so I can compare them all. That's what I like to do because I'm learning Korean as well. And Japanese and Korean mesh so well. I'll buy, like I have a Conan. I have Japanese episode of that detective story manga. I have Japanese, English, and Korean. The exact same episode or the exact same book. Then the Man with Pants says, George, do you think watching the Japanese version of something you already like is a good idea? That's crazy that you just said that. I'm going to go back 2 minutes ago and say, yes, that is a great thing to do. I was rewatching The Ozarks in Japanese so that my wife could watch it, and it was fun to watch it. As a matter of fact, I actually prefer watching some shows in Japanese because it's so good. Like, I'm waiting for Breaking Bad to have a Japanese dub for my wife on Netflix because it's not on there. Although she doesn't like shows like that, so we probably wouldn't watch that. Kyle Spevik says, I switched to the dark side and started watching Naruto in Japanese. I'm annoyed that Netflix doesn't have Shippuden. Kyle says, of course, Maku for rap. Yeah, Maku. Cleave a Dog responding to Dan the Man says, that's a great idea. I thought about watching something like Peppa Pig. I reluctantly memorized those while my kids were growing up. You know, I almost bought the South Park movie in Japanese. The funny thing about South Park is that they use Kansai dialect for some of the characters. It's fun. Rick and Morty in Japanese, if you can get that, also probably pretty fun. Morty! Nani shiteru nda yo, Morty? Rick, what do you say? I don't know. I don't actually. I want to watch it so bad right now, but I don't want to get nicked. Kyle says, don't worry about your level. Watch what interests you. Your brain will parse words, and you'll be able to guess what new stuff means because of context. Kyle says, I really wanted to watch Breaking Bad in Japanese, but I can't do it without a VPN. Well, that's horrible. Why don't you use the VPN? Julie Elliott says, hi, I watch Harry Potter movies in Japanese. I almost bought those too the other day, but I ended up just getting Ted and Ted 2. Okay. Dennis says, the meetup tomorrow, is it still on? No. I want to do it Saturday instead. Thank you for reminding me. Guys, not tomorrow. Saturday, Shibuya. That's my current thought. We might as well decide right now. But I think we could meet a little bit earlier. And what if there was not a ton of people, we could sing karaoke. We could go to karaoke and have dinner, right? Wouldn't that be fun? Like, I'm hoping, like, my friend Yuki's already gonna come. Yuki will be there. I met her on Hello Talk like 6 years ago now. Don't get any thoughts. She's married. So yeah, it's in Shibuya. We're gonna meet at the Hachikoguchi in Shibuya. All right. The time will be. Let's talk about the time. 5, 6, 7. I don't know. Julie Elliott says, I also try to sing along with the JP versions of Disney songs. Well, Alibaba ni wa 40 人 dosoku ga ita. Well, Master, you're in luck because up your sleeves. That's not the Japanese version, though, is it? Kyle Svevik says, Retas maita hamburger to ketchupを2つください. I mean, I don't know if they'll do it. I don't think they'll understand what you say. I mean, I'd probably have to say something like, パンの代わりにレタスを巻いていただけますか? Can I get you to wrap lettuce around it instead of the bread? I'd have to. I don't imagine that's a thing that Japanese people know how to do. The answer will be, by the way, we can't do that. Hamburgers can only be placed on. Where's my voice changer when I need it?
Oh, I'm sorry. We can't do that. We can only put a burger on a designated bun. Each bun and burger has a serial number. And if they don't match, an alarm goes off and all of Japan sinks.
Dan the man with the pants. Meeting again, Dennis? Oh my God, that name does seem familiar. That does seem familiar. We got to come up with a time though, guys. I'm not sure the exact time. If we do it at 7, it's one thing, but maybe 5's better. Because probably what's going to have to happen is if there's a lot of people, because I don't know how many people are going to come, we have to go to Shakey's and say, let's meet back in 2 hours or something like that. Let's meet back in an hour because last time I went, they couldn't do it. Dan the man with the pants says, I have a kind of weird culture question. I'm all for it. Sometimes my female Japanese friends drag me into the women-only train car with them. And I feel weird because I'm obviously not supposed to be there. Does this thing ever happen to you? All the time, buddy. All the time. Never. I'm just joking. It never happens to me. How does it ever happen to you, and is it okay? This is a good question. I feel like it's a very gray area because you shouldn't be there because it literally is the Josei Nomi, or Josei Senyo car. You shouldn't be on the female-only car. But then if the girls pull you in, those are keepers as a friend. They seem fun to me. I mean, I would probably just do it. Oh my God. I had a feeling, you know what? My friend Yukihiro up near Sendai, I was hanging out with him and his kid the other day, kids. And when I got back to my hotel, I didn't know where my change purse went, my little change thing. So I was struggling without my change purse. Change purse is what they call it, right? So I bought one today. I spent a good hour looking for a decent one. And a really, really cool thing happened. As I was going through like floor after floor, just looking at all the little zipper things that they have, I finally got sent to the stationery area. And I get to the stationery area and I asked the guy and he takes me over and I'm like, he's like, what about this? And he takes me to these plastic holders for coins where you put like all 10 yens and all 500s. And I'm like, that ain't it. Why would, no, in my pocket. Like I even said I want something soft like this other thing I was carrying. But then some girl who was like on her break shopping, she goes, coin pass nara, what does she call it? Coin, I don't remember what I was calling it. Coin ire. Coin ire nara, 3階の右の方にあります. She told me where it was, and I confirmed it a couple times. So I go up and over here, like above where we are right now. She's like, yeah. So I go there. Oh my God, the perfect one is there, and I buy it. It's like $15. But when I first got on that floor, there was like a store right there that sold a bunch of things like that, but they wanted like $100 for a coin thing. I'm like, dude, if I spend $100 on a coin purse, I'll never have enough money ever to put in that coin purse. So I accepted the 1800 coin one, 1800 price one, because it's so good. Do I have it in my pocket right now? Yeah, I think I do. Hang on. Yeah, this is my new coin purse, right? But what's cool about it is I can put it on my belt. Isn't that cool? But it's like soft material, you know? And now I just got notice from my friend, hey, I found your coin purse in my house. Damn it.
Sorry, I don't understand.
You didn't have to understand. Bjorn Johansson says, while learning, I confused kakeru a lot and I couldn't understand the meaning. Finally figured out it's a lot of words with the exact same pronunciation. So, yeah, I'll give you just a few that off the top of my head, right? Okane ga that's kakaru. Okane ga kakaru means it costs money. Okane o kakeru means to put money in it, right? You can kake o kakeru, you can make a bet. You can jikan ga kakaru, it takes time, or jikan o kakeru, to put time into it. You can put your arm, right? Ude o kakeru, right? Hiji o kakeru, right here on the desk. You could put it on. So somewhere ni kakeru is to put it on. Yeah, those are the easy ones I can think of. Hanashi kakeru is like a verb to approach someone and talk to them. Hanashi kakeru. Dan, a man with the pants, says, I wish I could meet, but I came home from Japan last week. Sad. That would have been fun. No, Kyle. Do not say pan o kawari ni. That would mean put bread in place of. It's pan no kawari ni. Instead of bread. Pan no kawari. So the thing that you're replacing is connected with no. Watashi no kawari instead of me. Pan no kawari instead of bread. Julie Elliott says, Japan looks do much like a lady girl rules my country. What? Wait, what? I don't understand what that means. What does that mean? Wait. Japan looks do much like a lady girl rules my country. Julie, I don't understand. I'm gonna try one more time. Japan looks. Okay, what typo could we be having in here? Japan looks too much like a lady / girl. Nope. Don't understand it. I'm sorry. Dan the man with the pants says, I think the word you were looking for is coin purse. Yes. Coin purse. But it just sounds like coin, like in English we say coin purse. But it's a coin ire, right? It could be a coin ire, so. Kyle says, I think he was saying that technically those words all use different kanji, but Japanese write it in kana, which is why it seems like one word with so many meanings. I wouldn't know. I can't even think of what kanji's used for those. I can read them, I just haven't ever thought, are they different? So much sorry, George. Where are you from, Julie? I'm guessing you're from another country, so you're trying very hard, and I apologize. So much sorry is like I like that phrasing though. So much sorry, Julie. Very many sorry from me. I'm not making fun of you. I'm teasing you. Here's Dan's opinion on the female car. I feel like it's not okay to be in the woman-only car, but I think it's worse for me if I make a big deal about it when the friend is saying it's okay. Here's the problem though. If this was America, imagine that the women that are in that car have been molested by a man on the train. They are in fear of men, so they're in that car to feel safe. You going in there is a disservice to them. That's probably the American way of looking at it. I don't know if that's how Japanese people would feel if the girls brought you in, right? But it does defeat the purpose, right? You shouldn't be in that car. So I joked about it, but I don't think you should be in that car. Just out of respect for any woman that might have been molested, because that is actually a problem on Japanese trains. Okay, Japan looks so much like a lady-friendly country. I think they're trying. I don't know if they're actually a lady-friendly country. Hechi Okami says, so much sorry is so cute. It is. You still gotta just go on the other cart, man. Cart. Julie Elliott says, no, I tried to correct my other sentence. My keyboard thought for itself. Okay. So you are from America. All right, makes sense. I gotta do laundry again. I should do it more near the end though, right before I go to Korea. All right, so let's decide this time, guys. So let's say 5 o'clock. Does that sound good? 5 o'clock at Hachikoguchi, Shibuya. 5 o'clock. We will leave no later than 5:10 to walk into the city, to walk towards the Shakey's Pizza. If for some reason you missed that time, we'll be in the Shakey's Pizza. But keep in mind, if there was a lot of people that came, we won't be in the Shakey's Pizza depending on how late you get there. We'll end up being somewhere nearby doing something. I don't know. And then the idea would be after that, maybe we can sing karaoke or something like that. That's my guess. I'm American, but my mom is French. Kyle says, たくさんすみません。本当にたくさんありがとうございました。たくさんありがとう。とてもありがとう。You can't say those, by the way, but it's cute if you do. Hechi Okami says to Dan, why am I reading all of these things? You guys keep having conversations back and forth. You're not giving me anything to talk about. I understand that what you're saying, but it's definitely not worse. It's not worse to respect the rules for other female citizens than do it for your female friends. I don't know. Is anyone going to say anything? No. No one's going to say anything if you do it. It's up in the air. I think at a minimum, it would be impressive if you told women, look, I want to respect the other women. I don't know if the other women have been molested on the train before. It's a lot to say, I know. 他に乗ってる女性を考えればですね、もし万が一痴漢とかされた女性が乗ってれば、私みたいな男が乗るとその人に悪いかなと思ってますので、できたら乗りたくないです。いいですか? Dude, that's cool. If your Japanese gets there, that's good. And to have that way of thinking is kind of nice too, I would say. How would you say, I'm very sorry? Yeah, 本当にすみません。申し訳ないです。本当に申し訳ないです。Yeah. There's also like you could say, 本当に悪いと思ってます。I really feel like I was wrong. Kevin Higgins has a question coming. He says, can Keto add? I'll try. Let's see here. Can Keto add? Have you been looking for a Japanese word that comes in the beginning of two sentences? Or in the middle, I should say. One that can do two things. One, it can be a but. And two, it could just add information without it being a but. Keto is your grammar. Keto is free to use to everybody that knows Japanese. www.keto.com. The statements made by George Trombley are not necessarily the opinion of the From Zero Corporation. www.keto.com. Kevin Higgins says, can keto and demo be used interchangeably? And are there times where, is there time where one has to be the other? Okay, keto and demo are different. The answer is yes and no, but they're completely different. So let me give you let's come up with two sentences, okay? We're gonna go basic level. I like cats, but I don't like dogs. 猫が好きです。犬が嫌いです. These are our two sentences. Now we want to connect them with a but. So let's do it with the basic demo. 猫が好きです。でも、犬は嫌いです. That's where you take demo is the beginning of that second sentence, okay? It's two independent sentences, one starts with a but. Or we can combine them and use kedo. But when you do that, it's not des kedo, it's da kedo. That first sentence, when it's squished into a two-sentence construction, you take the first sentence and you put it into informal form or casual form. So you say, 猫が好きだけど、犬は嫌いです. So it's used in that compound structure, okay? Now, in that case, when you translate it, it is still the same English, right? It's I like cats, but I dislike dogs, right? It's the same translation, except it'd be two sentences versus one. Now, keto can do a thing that demo can't do. Keto can be used exactly like I just explained, but instead of it being a but, the thing before the keto is information that's just background information, and it doesn't get translated to but. So for example, you could say, 今東京にいるんだけど, so right now, like I'm in Tokyo, and then I could say, ね、友達と明日会うんだけど, and yeah, and I'm like meeting my friend tomorrow. I can go keto the whole time. I keep adding things, and then I go, どうすればいいと思う? What do you think I should do? 何時がいいと思う? What time do you think would be good? But even though I said keto multiple times, I'm just throwing, it's background information. I'm not actually saying, I'm in Tokyo, but what? You know, it's a joke I used to always make. When Japanese people answer the phone, they might go, はい、竹中ですが, or 竹, you know, ですが, and ですが also means, but, something ですけど, right? だけど what? けど what? Like if someone gives you the background information, like they'll say like, let's say, hey, do you think we could meet tomorrow? 明日時間ないんだけど. けど what? Oh, I don't got time tomorrow. That's their information that they're giving you. Yeah. But what? I joke with them like, a kedo nani? Right? And they don't know what to do because that's not the kedo they were using, right? Try that with caution, okay? That joke I was just doing. Anyway, that's how they're different. How do you say molested? 痴漢される. 痴漢される is to be molested. 痴漢する is to molest. It's a valid question. Dan the Man says, I didn't change cars, but I did say later that I didn't want to ride it because the other women might be uncomfortable. Very good. I'll end that topic now because I was just curious if it happened to George. No, it's never happened to me. You are way more popular than me, Dan. I'm not normally walking with 3 or 4 Japanese girls at night. It's normally 1 at max. Kyle says, Billy Mays here with the OxyClean Keto. It'll length any sense. It'll length any sense, guys. Radio from Zero with your favorite radio host, George Trombley. Oh man, hang on. Oh, see, that's what I need this music for. Hang on. Give me a second. Oh, hang on. Let's fucking... All right, it is 8 a.m. in the morning and the temperature's heating up here in the valley. Make sure you've got that sunscreen on or at least a sun umbrella. This is George Trombley and you're listening to KXNT, the #1 hit music station. This is Creepy Crawl. That was Creepy Crawl. We are here today with our special guest, Kyle Spevik, who doesn't know how to spell sometimes. Ice cream wa oishii desu deshita ka? Was the ice cream delicious? I didn't get ice cream, Julie. I would have only eaten that ice cream if I was with somebody, and no one. I did check a few times the comments, and no one came. So, I mean, it was a shot in the dark. Maybe this is crazy, but can you say "Neko wa suki demo neko wa suki demo inu wa kirai desu"? Yes, but when you say that, that means even though I like cats, neko wa suki demo. When you do it like that, neko wa suki demo means even though I like cats. It's a different demo. Okay, neko ga suki demo inu wa kirai desu. Even if I like cats, I don't like dogs. It's weird. It doesn't work. But I've heard foreigners do that. They go, "Neko wa suki demo." You could do it. It doesn't. If you pause properly, it doesn't. It's not. It makes sense, but it's suki dakedo or suki desu demo. Okay. I mean, it's just an incomplete sentence, but I guess it works, right? Neko wa suki demo inu wa kirai. Yeah, it works. You know, it's the same as, like, let's think about what would be the equivalent in English. I don't like cat, but like dog. Works fine. We understood what you said, but you need to say cats because it's all cats, right? And, you know, I don't like cat. I like cat, but dislike dog. You got to change up your English. We understood you, but do you want to be understood or do you want to sound pretty good, right? Ooh. Alien Wolf says, does uchi ni have more than one meaning? Tabeteru uchi ni means while you're eating. Kono goko no uchi kara, from these five, or within these five, amongst these five, you could uchi ni, one of them is this or that. Yeah, it has two meanings. One is amongst things, and the other one is while doing a thing. James Good says, many words have multiple meanings, easier to distinguish in writing due to the kanji. Shimeru and shimeru, for example. I'm assuming this is shimeru because I don't know. I assume you're showing here. I'm going to look it up. CC. Why didn't that work? Hang on. What?
Shitsuru.
Shitsuru?
Shitsuru.
I don't know that kanji. It means to become wet, to become moist, to become depressed. All right, let's look it up in Jisho. Let me see if this works. Yes, okay. Let's see. Shitsuru. Oh, why did that be? Look what they read. See, okay. Look what they did here, though.
Shitsuru.
They're calling it shitsuru in deep L. Yeah, it's shimeru. It's really weird. I was like, what is shitsuru? All right. So shimeru and shimeru is a good example. The first one can have two meanings as well. Can you remember how your listening skills progressed to where you're able to quickly distinguish between the different meanings while listening? Well, first of all, let me tell you this. I will never, almost never have the problem that you have with that. You know why? Because I didn't learn from a word list. I didn't learn shimeru is this and shimeru is this and shimeru is that. There's kubio shimeru, there's doro shimeru, there's shimeru to be wet or moist. I never even saw that kanji before. Because if someone said, betto ga shimeteru, it's ga shimeru, I would know it meant the bed is wet. Doa ga shimatteru would mean the door is closed, so it's shimaru, if they're going to use ga. And if it's, I shut the door, doa o shimeta, it would be o shimeru. So they use different particles, so I would never be lost. So I'm not trying to shame you. I'm just saying it's always a big problem when students are studying words without using them. You can't study without using them. Well, you'll end up hearing ga shimeru and think it's an o shimeru when it's not. Now, I'm sure if I really look back at my history, there are times where I've heard something wrong, right? And the context didn't help me, right? There's times where it can happen, just from the sheer volume of things that I've said since I was 12, in the last 38 years. But it's ga shimeteru, right? Because shimeru as the wet thing is a state verb. It's talking about it's wet. And shimeru with the other kanji to close is an action verb. It uses o to do the action. So I would never make that mistake. Because I'm cool like that. I mean, but how do you solve that, you know? How do you solve that? I don't know. Because maybe that's the only way you can really get new words. But maybe just understand that sometimes that's going to happen. And maybe if you keep in your head, okay, are they using different particles? That's why I don't know if you know this, but in every Japanese from Zero book, we do something no other book does. I don't think any other book does it. We never just introduce the verb. There's always a verb usage section, and that verb is described how particles interact with it. Instead of us always teaching particles do this. So therefore, it's easy to know that if you have a transitive verb, you do this. Intransitive verb, you do this. Of course, it's easy. Nope. We don't assume that you know that. We say, ni marks the thing that does this. Ga marks the thing that does this. Every time we give you that. So that you know. Jacobius Peterson says, hi, George. This is probably what I wanted to ask. This is probably I wanted to ask if you knew what this meant. This, you know, first of all, look. You guys see how typos happen, right? You start writing a question, and then you rewrite it, and then you restate, and then you delete a bit, and you fix it, and then it has leftovers. This happens to me all the time in the book. I wanted to ask if you knew what this meant. Shibirechao yo na hibiki. Shibirechao na yo na. Is that odoroki or hibiki? I'm guessing it's hibiki. I won't look up the rest. Hang on. Let's just do Control C. See? I think it's hibiki. Yeah. Hibiki.
Hibiki.
Yeah. It's a sound, right? All right. Or like I think it could also, what else did it say? Vibration? Can it mean vibration? Emotion or feeling inspired to do, let's see, what number is this? A sound, quality of sound, a resonant bell. All right. All right, so let's look at that. Shibirechao yo na hibiki ne. It's from a song. And I think shibireru, I don't know the kanji, but I don't know what the yona. It's yona. It's yona. It's not yona. I don't know why it would be yona. She probably just didn't want to lengthen it when she sang it. Wait, where's my music? Shibireru, I believe, is when you go, shibireru, so the sound was like the effect of the hibiki can be. Let me look up something, because hibiku is not just what they're writing here. The dictionary is missing a little bit. Hibiku means to reverberate, like just like a sound can reverberate, so can an idea reverberate, right? So it's like a reverberation. Here, look at hibiku. Let's see if the kanji is different. Hibiku, not hibuku. Sorry. To resound, to be heard far away, to reverberate, to shake, right? To have an effect. There you go. To make an impression. That's what I was talking about. So it's not just an actual sound. It can also have an effect, right? And shibireru is like, without me looking it up, before I look it up, shibireru is like, ooh. It's like, oh, shibireru. So it's like to have a chill. It's like a chilling reverberation. It's a reverberation that makes you chill. To become numb, to go to sleep, to get an electric shock, to tingle. Okay? To be excited, to be titillated, to be mesmerized or enthralled. Right? All right. I don't know if that was a satisfying example, but you don't know what the yona does. What does the yona do there? Like, what does it actually do there? Shibireru yona hibiki. It's this type of hibiki. It's a type of hibiki that makes this happen. Like, let's think what I could do with this drink. 舌が麻痺するような味. A flavor that makes my tongue go numb. 誰でも好きになれるような人. A type of person that anybody can like. It's just a type of. Yeah, it's a type of hibiki that makes you become numb. To get an electric shock, to tingle, right? Whatever that is. There. Hopefully that helps. What is the difference between 食べてるうちに and 食べながら? Okay, very good question. 食べながら can only be me or you, like one person. A eats while A does something else. A and A, right? One subject. I believe, actually, I'm going to change that. That is true with Nagara. But Nagara it's running simultaneously in the same time frame. Taberu uchi ni, theoretically, because it's uchi, theoretically, this is my back of the bus answer, okay, is that the thing that you're doing in the simultaneous with that has to happen before the other thing ends. It's within a tabeteru uchi ni, it's still in English while eating, right? During eating versus like while eating, it would probably be the difference. But now my question is, can I use uchi ni and have A and B have a different person? That I have to think. Joji ga tabeteru uchi ni, like I could say, with Ida, I could say, Joji ga tabeteru aida ni watashi wa kaimono shimashita. While George was eating, I went and shopped. But could I say, Joji ga tabeteru uchi ni watashi ga tabemashita? I think you can. I think uchi can be A does one thing while B does the other. I'm not sure. But this is one of those things where it might not matter. Like the A and B thing does matter. It might just sound weird if you do it one way and it shouldn't be. And I don't know the answer for that. But let's say, watashi, I'm just trying to think when I use uchi. Okay, I always use it for myself, so I know I can use it for myself. I say, 知らないうちに時間が経った. Before I realized it, time had passed. 知らないうちに, right? I would not say nagara there. I couldn't. 知らないうちに. Like you see a kid for a long time. 知らないうちに大きくなった. Oh, yeah, okay. I think it can be, yeah, it can be A to B. You can have two, because it's during the time that I didn't realize, you got big. So you can do that. But in that case, it's completely different from nagara, because I couldn't say minai nagara while not looking, you got big. You can't use nagara there. I could say though, mite inai aida, even though that's weird. No, uchi is definitely showing maybe a much longer time period theoretically. That's my guess. That's my guess. But I think it can be used A and B. That's definitely a back of the bus answer. I mean, and the way I would teach that is I would literally write out what I just wrote. I would make the rules, I would make the sentences, and then I would shoot it off to Kanako, and Kanako would go. That's not what she would do. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. She would go.
Actually, we don't say it that way. Or, いいんじゃない? いいんじゃないかな?
Hey, who can we call? What time is it? Now, I tried to call Ari yesterday. Hang on. Where's my phone? Oh, my phone's charged. Hang on. Right back. All right, let's hook ourselves up. We're gonna see. Ari felt bad that she didn't answer yesterday. Okay, we're gonna ask her opinion. I'll tell her my theory, and we'll see what she says. All right, let's get online. Oh, we could call Yuki too. 今電話していい? It's not taking my voice. 今電話していい? 日本語の質問がある。今ライブストリーム中でしゅ。でしゅ。Wasn't it doing that? でしゅ。All right, let's see if she responds. That's Yuki. If you come hang out on Saturday, she'll be there. She's probably eating dinner with her husband or something. I'm going to copy these messages and send them off to another. We'll send to Eriko. Okay. Eri loves to speak English, so she likes calls like this, I think. Eriko. Let's get my last part. Whoever answers first gets it. It is 10 at night, though, so. All right, we'll see. All right, we'll come back to that question. Kyle says, that's why flashcards with sentences are the best. Yeah, I always forget that those exist, but yes, that is the best. But they might not tell you the difference between this and that and this and that, right? Jaquavius Peterson says, I wanted to say this is probably hard. Sorry, I forgot to finish the sentence. Okay. Are you going to finish it eventually? Julie Elliott says, I don't use flashcards. They don't work for me. Then how are you learning new words? Kyle says. I mean, by watching things and hearing the word and then looking it up. That's what I do. I didn't learn my Japanese with flashcards. I had flashcards for kanji, but not for Japanese words. Granted, I did learn some words from those kanji flashcards. Any advice on how to distinguish tadoshi and jidosha? Tadoshi and automobiles? Transitive verbs, and I guess jidoshi is intransitive, I'm guessing. Jidoshi, not jidosha. Jidoshi. Yeah, here, I'll show you. All right. So you wrote jidosha, by the way, by mistake. That's okay. Automobile. Yes, I actually have a technique. You ready for it? You want to hear it? Here it is, guys. I developed it for the Korean book, but it completely, oh, dude, I got all of my walking in. Just doing this, I hit my last calorie. All right, listen, get ready. This is the part I would cut out and make into a separate TikTok because it's going to be good. All right. Just getting ready. How do we know when a verb is transitive or intransitive? Now, it's not so easy to know in Japanese alone, but if you know the meaning, you could figure it out. And the way you do it is you say, can I, the verb, it? For example, eat. Can I eat it? Can I do it? These are all transitive. Can I sit it? No, I can't sit it. I can sit though. It doesn't work after it, therefore it is not transitive, it's intransitive. It works almost all the time. There might be there might be one occasion where it doesn't work. Moshi moshi? あ、ちょっと待ってね。聞こえる？あれ？聞こえます？ なんか言って。聞こえます？
ノリノリの音楽。
あ、音楽うるさすぎる。ちょっと待って。
聞こえます。
今ライブストリームやってるんだけども、今あなたの声がみんなに聞かれてるということだけは分かってほしい。いいですか？
そうなの？
そうそうそう。
いいですよ。どこに？アメリカ？
いや、インターネットですよ。私のポリグロット上手のチャンネルで配信してるんだけど、質問が出てきて面白い質問だったから聞こうと思って。まず先に説明しなきゃいけない。何々をしながら何々をするっていう動詞っていう文法が一つあって、ながらと何々をしている間に何々っていうのもあります。で、ながらと間の違いっていうのはね、A は何々しながら A はこうしましたと。同じ人がそのアクションしなきゃいけない。私はテレビを見ながら宿題をしましたと言えるけども、私が宿題をしながらエリコが皿を洗いましたとは言えない。同じ人じゃなきゃいけない。だけど間っていうのが、
そうだね、
私は宿題をしてる間にエリコちゃんは皿を洗っていましたは言える。これはもう、これが分かること。分からなかったことは、うちしているうちに私が思うには、私が何々をしているうちに、でこれは間に似てるような似てないようなで、私が思ったのが、間っていうのはなんか、もっと長い時間を表すんじゃないかな。例えば知らないうちに間じゃなくてもうちね、知らないうちに、リアちゃんが大きくなりましたとは言えるよね。でも何かを知っているうちに何々っていうのはあるのかなと、何があるのかなと思って。
お風呂入っている。確かに間とうちの
おかしいよね。
お風呂入ってる間に、間とうちの説明が難しいね。違いを説明するのが難しいね。
違いっていうか、できないものと できないこととできることだけに集中したらいいと思うのね。例えばさっきの宿題と皿洗いを例にすると、私が宿題をしているうちに、エリコちゃんは皿を洗ったはおかしい？
私がおかしくない。意味通じます。
あなた
私がうちに
言う？そういう言い方。
言う。うちにっていうより、でもやっぱり間にの方が言うかな。でもうちにって言っても変じゃない。make sense だよ。I can understand だよ。
もう一つ私が考えたのはね、その間とながらはなんか同時進行じゃない？なんか私が例えば私がこれをやっている時にあなたもやっていました。でも私が宿題をやっているうちに、その期間内にあなたがまだやっていないかもしれないけど、ずっとやってはいないけど、その間、その期間内にやって終わってるかもしれない。でも間はなんかずっと同時進行かなと思ったりはした。
そうかもしれない。難しいな、日本語。
難しいよ。
難しい。深く考えたことない。
だろうね。でもよく使うのさ、知らないうちに大きくなったと。それはなんかやっている、何かのやってるわけじゃないんだ。ただこの期間、これがこの状態でこうなったと。
確かにうちには割と長い期間を言うかも。長い期間でも言うかも。1年とか2年とか、
だったらね、
間は
アメリカに住んでるうちに英語ペラペラになりました。
言うね。でもアメリカに住んでる間に、
どうぞ。
でも間にでも言うね。アメリカに住んでる間にペラペラになったとも言う。I can say。
要は、たまには間とうちは一緒に使えて、でも
一緒に使える。
おそらく私の気持ちだった。私の今の考えてるのが、うちにはちょっと限界があるのかな。限界っていうか、なんかニュアンスの違いがある。
そう、ニュアンスの違いはある。でもそのニュアンスを く説明できない。難しい。わかるよ、ジョージの言ってることわかる。exactly 一緒じゃない。全く一緒じゃないけど、すごくクロースだね。似てる。と思う。
ただ、ながらとは違うのは間違いないですよね。ながらは、
そうだね。ながらは、そう、違う。
何かしながら
同
A
時
さんが。
進行、同時進行。
そう。
い
いやいや、
ってことだよね。
同時進行っていう問題よりは、エリが何かしながらジョージが何かしたは言えない。エリが何々しながら何々をしたって同じ人じゃなきゃダメなの。それが決まり。
ジョージが何々しながら、ジョージは、しながらエリコ、そうだね。ながらは、同じ人、一人の人のことだね。
A と B ができる。ジョージは何々をしてるうちに、してる間に、私がこうしました。でもしながらって言ったらもう私は私、エリがエリ。エ
リコは病院しながら、そうだね。ながらは、A だけ。間は A と B がいる、2人いる。
そうそうそう。
そうそう。
まあこのライブストリームはね、明白な答えじゃなくて、もうバスの後ろに座ってなんか会話した感じの答えだから、なんか後ろに日本語話せるおっさんがいて、そのおっさんに、それで十分。違いはあるけど何の違いがあるかはわからないみたいな。どっちかというとひょっとしたら時間がもっと長いかもしれない。
日本語って深く考えると難しい。っていうか、ラングエージは全部そうかもしれないね。
そうだね。
深く考えたことないもん。
この前にあった質問がね、行かなくちゃと行かなきゃの違いは何って。違いはなくないと思った。
ないない。セム。それは何？人の癖とか。
そう思った。
どっちも全く一緒。ある意味、あれじゃない？方言と似てない？こういうふうに言うエリアもあれば、こういう地域もあるってこと。地域によるかもしれない。あとは世代とかジェネレーションとか。
大きに。めんこいとかね。
若い世代、若い人は言うけど、オールドピーポーは言わないとか。
ねえねえ、エリちゃん、これ
そういう違いだね。
別の質問なんだけど、昔のあった問題でね、日本語で言わないから英語で言うからね、訳してね。訳してね。I don't like cats so much. I don't really like cats.
私は猫は、
どうぞどうぞ。
Don't really like cats. 1個目は、私は猫はあまり好きじゃない。
そうです。もう一回言って。
私は猫をあまり好きではない。
あまりって言うんでしょ、あなた。あまり。私はね、
あまりっていうの。
なぜかいつもあんまりっていうのね。が入ってるの、いつも。
あまりって。
あんまり。それでね、しおりちゃんっていう子が昔言ったんだけど、こういう感じで電話して質問したら、あんまりとか、あんまりじゃなくて、あんまっていうかなって言ったんだよね。
あんまも言う。それは、でも、それは昔の若い人？あんまでもそうだね。でも、
その時は現役の若い人だったけどね。
スラングみたいな感じだと思う。あんまってスラングみたいな。
でもあなたのエリコちゃんはあんまりとあまりは違いがある？
ない。それも、人にエリアによる。
私青森に行ったからあんまりだと思ったけど、あなたもあまりってなってるから、その説もちょっとね。
青森の訛りなのかな。I'm not sure だけど、それは。でもどっちでもいいと思う。でも多分正しいのはあまりだと思う。どっちかっていうとあんまりが方言だと思う。
私もそう思う。私はずっとあんまりだと思ったらあまりに直されたことあるから。で
もどっちでもいいよ。どっちでもいいけど、多分あまりの方がいわゆる正しい日本語、方言ではないと思う。
そうだね。分かった。これで助かりました。
いつもジョージお世話になってます。 みんなジョージよろしくね。
後でこれリンク送るからね。
ジョージよろしくね。
あなたの声が出てるやつのリンクね。ありがとう先生。
よろしく。
はい。
いえいえ、こちらこそジョージ先生、いつもありがとう。
いえいえ。
Thank
じ
you
ゃあね
always よ。
はい。じゃあまた。
はい、またね。はい。
バイバイ
ありがとう。
All right. So there's your answer, guys. You guys all understood exactly what happened there, right? Right? You understood, right? Essentially, she's like, oh my God, Japanese is hard. But yeah, Uchi and Aida are similar. And she says, maybe Uchi has a longer time frame. Like, I also thought the same thing. Hopefully, I didn't lead her into that answer. But you could say Aida and Uchi in the same way. But they are not equivalents. Nagara and Uchini are not the same thing. They just translate that way in English. They both become while in English. All right, let's catch up on these comments here. Julie says, I love to understand in context because it means something different and I can learn. Yes. All right. Oh my God, it jumped. See, sometimes it just jumps too far. Okay, I'm trying to find a good spot to jump in. Tobacco is one of those words, just like coffee, where it should be written maybe in katakana, but they don't. Like coffee, well, actually, coffee is written in katakana, but they also have a kanji for it. And recently, I've seen more places using cafe, which I've only seen in Japanese or in Chinese. They're using that as coffee, like to be stylish. Oh yeah, was I in the middle of something really important? Dang it, I was in the middle of something really important. Okay, so going back to the how do you tell a transitive versus an intransitive? If you can reliably add it after it, it is transitive because it can change the it. It does something to the it. So then you always use o. If you can't reliably put, without forcing, without pushing, if you can't put an it after it, it doesn't work. Can you kill it? Yes. It is o korosu. Can you die it? Like death, are you dead? Die. No. So it's ga shinu. But can you dye hair? Can you dye it? Yeah. That's o someru. My hair is dyed. Can I dye it? No. Ga somatteiru. So that works. O nomu, because you can drink it. O yomu, because you can read it. Can you read it? It's an O. Can you, whatever the verb, if you can't it is a ga. It is a intransitive verb. That is, let me tell you how long it took me to come up with that. That was a lot of work. Just back and forth. Like, is there a way for us to figure out when you use and iga in Korean? Because it's the same grammar in Korean. And I was super happy with that result. I wrote that. That was my victories in the Korean from Zero book. I think I might have put it in one of the Japanese books, but I'm not sure if I did. But there's your answer. What was the app you found called? Oh my gosh, what are you talking about? Did I miss something? Or are you talking to someone else? Okay, Yuki just said I could call, but it's too late. Akarui, can it be used for something for meaning smart like in English? No. And here's another funny thing, right? Akarui can be used, okay, akarui can be used for a personality trait, but it's someone who's lively and fun. Akarui, sugoku akarui seikaku. But it's either the light is bright or their personality is bright. It's like an enjoyable personality, but it doesn't mean smart. But the word smarto, if someone says you're smarto, it doesn't mean you're smart, it means you're thin. Smarto means thin. So that's kind of weird. If you're going to be smart, it's atama ga ii, or atama no ii hito, atama ga ii hito, or 賢い 賢い means like clever, but it also means intelligent, smart. But smarto, I bet most Japanese people think smartphone means thin phone and not. That I'm gonna ask my friend Yuki. She said I could call. Here's our second call. We're gonna ask her if she thinks. First of all, we're gonna ask her about akarui. Okay, we're gonna see if my definition lines up, and then we're gonna ask her what is the smart. Why do they call a smartphone? Let's see what she says. All right, here we go. I'm having fun. I wish I was in Japan all the time. I could call. もしもし。
はい。
今ね、ライブストリームしてるから、あなたが言うことすべて生で出てます。
はい。
いいですか？
OK。
はい、質問が2つあります。1つ、
はい、
私はもう答えたんだけども、あなたの答えが一致するかどうか確認したいです。いいですか？
はい。
はい。明るいっていう形容詞。これは賢いとかっていう意味でも取れますか？彼は明るいですって。
賢いでは使いません。
使えないですね。どういう意味ですか？彼は明るいですって言ったら。
明るいは性格が明るいってこと？
そう、どういう意味ですか？それを言うと。
性格が陽気な、陽気な性格。
はい、一致してました。ほんで次、
はい、
スマートっていう言葉、スマート。スマートフォンのスマート、あなたの中ではどういう、なんでスマートフォンって呼んでるか分かりますか？
考えたことはなかったけど、多分賢い電話ってことじゃないですか？
まあ本当はそうなんだけど、ひょっとしたら日本人がさ、あなたはスマートですね、彼女はスマートですって言ったら、それは細いって意味なんだよね、本当はね。スマートな女性。
そうですね。だからそういう意味でも使いますね。
そう、だからひょっとしたらスマートフォンのこと薄いからスマートだと思ってるのかなと思って。
ああ、なるほど。スマートね。でもそうではないと思いますね。スマートフォンのスマートは賢い方だと思いますよ。
でもあなたはスマートだねっても言わないんでしょ？言う？賢いって意味で。
ああ、まあそうですね。スマート、まあ言わなくはないですよ、スマートって。
言うのか。
まあ英語のそのスマートっていう賢いみたいな意味でも使わなくはないけど、大半はスマートって言ったら、まあスタイルのことを言うことが多いかもしれないですね。
だと思う。なるほどね。面白い。
はい。
まあ、
そんな感じです。
それだけでした。ごめんなさい。さらにもう一つ。やっぱり先の質問をもう一回ちょっと確認しようと思って。まず説明するね。私たち今から話す文法は3つあります。ながら、間に、うちにっていう3つね。英語では全部 while に変わるから、勘違いする人が多いんだけども、まず、ながらは、ジョージが電話で話しながら食べました。これは A さんが2つやってる。ジョージが2つやってる。ジョージだけの話でしか使えない。要は、ジョージが電話で話しながら、ユキさんは皿を洗ってましたは言えない。これは分かってること。要は、2人はA 側と B 側は同じ人じゃなきゃいけない。ながらの前とながらの後は。で、間は、ジョージが電話で話してる間に、ユキさんが皿を洗っていましたは言える。間は、両側に違う人がいる。これは一応分かってることで、今度は、間にとうちにはどう違うかっていう質問が出てきて、もうすでに一人の日本人に聞いたんだけど、ユキさんに、例えば、ジョージがテレビを見てるうちに、私が皿を洗ってましたはどう？文章的に。
言葉的にはちょっと使わないかな。
どうして？
してるうちに、してるうちに、まあ使わなくないか。うちに使いますかね。 私
なんかちょっ
好きにっていう
とあるよ。なんかちょっと、
ちょっと変。
うん、
それ多分、ワイルを多分日本語訳で見ると、うちにっていう訳があるのかな。
あるの。そう
だから
そうそう。
そうだけど、でもなんか口語的には何々してるうちにあんまり使わないな。
わかった。
うん。
うちにって
自分
いうのはね、
自分のだけでやるときはうちに使いますよ。例えば、なんだろうな。なんだろうな。
A と B と C と D と冗談です。
皿を洗っている。でもなんだろうな。
いや、わかるんだよ。うちにはね、
うん、
A のアクションをやっているうちに、他のものが起こったんだよ。要はね、
そう、そんな感じ。
なんか起こったんだよ。同時進行じゃないんだよ。やっぱり。していたとは。
もしくはその自分だけの問題ですよね。例えば。
いや、でも他の人でも使えるっていうのはもう分かった。例えばね、いや、もう知らないうちにゆきさんがすごい綺麗になりましたと言える。
そうだね、言える。それは言える。
嘘にはなるけど、言える。
嘘でもない。嘘でもない。そうですね。知らないうちに何々使った的なことは言えますね。
でもね、これがあるじゃん。なんか本読んでるうちにどんどん分かるようになってきました。なんか進むことが何かが進んでいったことを表してるんだよね、きっと。
そうね、うちにっていうのはそうですね。時の経過がありますよね。何々。っていうか、時の経過っていうか、でもうちにっていうのはその間にっていうか。もうそのやってる間に起こったとか、終わっちゃったとか、
もう結果がもう出てるやつで、
同時
進行だったかもしれないけども、一応こういう期間内にこれが起こっちゃいましたみたいな。
そうですね。うちにっていうのはその期間内にってことですね。その中にその以内にみたいな。でも
いないだよね。
あんまりいない。
あんまり
なんかあんまり使わないかなと思って。
そのうち？
うちにって。
でもユージよくやってるうちにだんだん分かるようになってきた。それ時はやってる間って絶対言わない。やってるうちになっちゃう。
そうですね。それは確かにそうです。
絶対うちを使う時があるんだよ。もう話してるうちにだんだんこの文法分かるようになってきました。
それは言いますね。例えば勉強してるうちに眠くなっちゃったとか、そういうことも言ったりします。
なるほど。
だんだん時間の経過ですよね。なんか
時間の経過を
こう
表す。
やってる、時間の経過を表すけど、その間内になんか終わっちゃったとか始まっちゃったとか、その時間の経過のその間に何か事象が起きたことを言いますよね。
as I なんとかになっちゃうと思うんだよ、英語でね。As I was reading the book, I finally began to understand とか、これが進んでるうちにこれも進んできたみたいな。
そうですね。as と while は結構似てますよね。
場合によってはね。
そうですね。そう。within とか言いませんか？何々してるうちにって違いますか？そんな感じ。
OK、分かった。これでとりあえず助かりました、すごく。
本当ですか？なんか全然あれなんだけど。
いや、こういうもんです。
だからやっぱり注目。
何？
なんかやっぱり注目してる場所がやっぱり違うなと思って、そういうところに注目するんだって今思いました。
やっぱりだから英語で言うのを調べるじゃん。で、while って調べると、おそらく生徒がながらとうちにと間が全部出てきてどう違うかってパッとわからない。だから英語で一つしかないから、日本語で3つあるからどう違うかっていうのはすごい困ると思うんだよね。
言葉がね。
そう。
意味的にもか。そうですね。なるほど。
例えばさ、日本語で言えばいるとあるがあるじゃない。彼女がいる。 で時間があるとか言うじゃん。英語にいるとあるが一つだから、I have。初めて英語を勉強する人は、なんで一つしかないのってなって混乱するかもしれない。
there is とかね、一緒ですよね、意味的に。
そう。
there is とか、there are とか、ね。
I have a girlfriend, there is a girl。まあそういうこと。
それがいるですよね。いる、ある、情報。
そう。まあそういう。
なるほど。でも逆もありですね。日本人からするとそこがやっぱり英語がちょっと違うなって思うところですね。
日本語で一つあって英語に三つあるっていうのもあるけど、今思い出せないけど、あるだろうね。
そうですね。そう。OK。
OK です。じゃあとりあえず土曜日みんなで、6時に会うことにしたかな。だけど私たちはもっと早く会ってもしあれだったら昼でも食べてブラブラして、ほんで夜も入れられるならね。
大丈夫よ。これあれですよね。今ライブストーリー。
そうだよ、配信中。
いいの？わかりました。OK。
じゃあ会う時間をこのみんなも招待してるから。
わかりました。
後で私たちが昼の会う時間、後で LINE で話しましょう。
そうですね。お願いします。よ
ろしくお願いします。
はい、じゃあ頑張ってください。
はい、よろしく。じゃあね。
はい。
You're getting a lot of really value. I'm telling you right now, you need to recommend the random every now and then. Every now and then, Japanese dailies are going to be really good like this. This is really good. So listen, I figured it out. While I was talking, here's really what it is. When you use uchi, it's showing the progression of time. There's some progression of time happening. Whereas you're talking about nagara, it's like just doing two things together. I'm doing two things at once, yay. And if you're talking about aida, it's like while I did this, someone else did this. Two different people. But when you talk about uchi, it's really showing like, over the time of me living in America, I began to understand English. As I read this book, or while I read this book, I began to understand a concept. It's showing this progression of time. It's a longer time. It's not just a longer time span. It's just showing something happening within this longer time to action. That's my current answer. Now, akarui, we have proved, we already knew this, but we've proved it can only mean bright, like a light, or a good personality. Okay, a jovial personality is akarui. And she said smartphones were smart because intelligence. So that's good. And she said, but normally when you hear smart, you assume that it's a good style, a smart body, like a not intelligent body, but a thin body. Woof, good stuff. Would it be bad to ask her about the woman-only car thing? I didn't see it. Oh, okay. I'm gonna call Erika one more time. One more time, ちょっといい? This is good. If I could always randomly call a Japanese person, this is good. It's 10:51, I don't know. 文化の質問です。If you met Ari though, Ari loves English. Eriko is always like, she'll say something like, 彼女来なかった? She didn't come? She does that all the time. Okay, oh, she's excited. Here we go. Hi. これ今度はね文法じゃなくて、これはね、生徒から聞かれたことなんだけど、女性専用車両ってあるじゃないですか。
あるね。
そこにね、あるアメリカ人が、多分2人か3人の女の子と行って、 その女性専用の車に乗って彼を引っ張ったんだよ、女性専用の車両に。その時どうすればいいのっていう。いいの私が乗ってという質問です。
女性専用の車両に女の子が
自分の友達3人とかが彼をその女性専用の車両に引っ張ったんで、いいよとか言って。
多分ダメだと思う。
どうして？
だってそしたらみんなするよね。
そうだね。
みんなのそれしたら意味がないよね。
そうだね。みんながするとダメだ。それがすごい日本人らしい答え。そう、
多分みんながしだしてしまう。だから多分ダメだと思う。
でもなんでそれは分かったとしてみんながやるとダメだけども、そのダメって何がダメ？なんで男が乗ると基本的に問題になる？
だってそれはもう女性のトイレに男性が入るみたいなもんじゃない？女性のエリアに。そういうことと一緒だと思う。でその女の子がその友達と一緒に乗りたいなら、女の子がその男性用みんなが乗れるとこに行くべき。
そうだね。その通りだと思う。
そう
アメリカ的に考えればね、多分こうなんですよね。なんで男が乗っちゃダメなのかというと、例えば他の女性がいいとしても、その中で一人でも痴漢とかされたことあるような女性がいれば、その女性がかわいそう、その女性が安心して乗ってるのに、もうその女性専用の車両があるから乗れるかもしれないのに、男が入るとかわいそうだっていう。
そう意味がないよね。女性専用なのに。Only for women でしょ。意味がない。
あなたはその女性専用の
赤ちゃんとかならいいよ。赤ちゃんは
子供とかはいい。
とか子供小学生ぐらい、中学生もギリギリかな。
あなたは使えます？
そう。
乗る？
あまり。でもそうだね。ほらエリコ金沢に住んでるからだけど、あまり気にしないかな。女性専用がいいとかはあまり思わないかも。でも満員電車は確かに嫌。おじさんとかいっぱいいるのは嫌。
嫌だね。そしたら乗っちゃう。あれば。
そうだね。
この間ね、女性専用のエレベーターもあったんだよ。
そうなの？どこに？日本？
そう、日本だよ。どこだったかな？なんか新幹線の駅で、博多だったと思う。
初めて聞いた。
博多にあったと思う。
だからビッグシティならそうか。
そう。あれ初めて。ほんでなんて書いてあったかな？女性専用。そう、女性専用って書いてあった。そう、びっくりした。
それは知らない。びっくりだね。
びっくりした。
それは I've never heard だし、見たことない。I've never seen だし。
おそらく私が思うにはその博多は韓国人とかも多いじゃない。外国人が多いからじゃないかなと思ったりはしたんだけども、でもやっぱり問題があったから作ったんだよね、おそらく。
なんだろうね。でもエレベーターでどういう問題があったんだろう。エレベーターって言った？
そう、エレベーターだよ。10階ぐらいしか上がらないようなエレベーター。
狭いスペースに、狭いスペースで密室だから
かもしれないね。
maybe だね。なるほど、あるかもしれないね。エレベーターも。なるほどね。
そういうことでした。ありがとうね。すごい助かりました。
またいつでも電話して。
はい。まあいつでもはダメでした。夜中の2時3時はダメでしょ。もしもし、なんでこの時間に電話してんの？質問がありますってまあそういうことでありがとうございました。
12時は OK よ。
OK、分かった。必ず聞くから大丈夫かどうかは。
OK。
自由に無視してね。
頑張って。
はい。じゃあね。
OK。はい。またね。はい。
So I like her answer a lot. Her answer is, the reason why you shouldn't do it is because if you do it, then everybody would do it, and there'd be no meaning anymore. If you can ride, everyone would ride, right? And she said if the women really wanted to be with you on the train, they have all those other cars to go into. They could just go in the other car with you. So there's no reason for them to be on that. There's no reason for you to be on there. That's our official Japanese answer. Okay. What do you think? What do you think? I forgot what. Did I ask her another question? Oh, I also told her I saw the other day in Fukuoka, they had a woman-only elevator. So that was interesting. She also did say though, you could, if you have a baby or someone up to maybe elementary school level child, if they're a boy, she thinks it's okay for them to be on there with their mother in that protected women's only car. Julie Elliott says, is it scary that a native thinks her own language is difficult to explain? My mom says the same thing for French. It's the same though for English though. You know, the example I love to give that most Americans don't have an answer for is, excuse me, when do you say a and versus the and the? When do I use the or the? We don't have an answer for that. And there's a lot of things we don't have an answer for. We just know how to use it. But when you sit down to try to write an English textbook, like I have tried in the past myself, you get presented with a lot of problems, right? Just say, for example, I eat. I eat. Singular, first person becomes eat. Second person, he, becomes he eats. We're still singular though, but it's second person, right? He eats. Or is that third person? I think that might be third person. It doesn't matter. It's still singular. I eat. He eats. But then when we make it plural, it becomes they eat. Now the eat doesn't have the S anymore. George eats. He eats. I eat. They eat. We eat. Why? Explain that. What's the rule? And I remember when I was building a verb conjugator for Yes Japan, I really wanted to have the English verbs properly conjugate also. Do you know that there are rules for when you add ET, or like for eating or cooked, for example? Take eating just for example. Why isn't it EATTING? But when you say pet, it's petting, PETTING, but not EATTING. Why? There's a rule. But can you explain it? It's complicated. Oh my God, it skips up so much. Dan the Man with the pants says, being able to actually follow this conversation is great affirmation of my effort. Here's the other thing I'm gonna tell you why that conversation is easier for you to follow, Dan. Because you know what we're talking about. You know the topic. You know the exact questions I'm gonna ask. It does make it, it's really great to have context. Without context, you might not have any idea what we're talking about, to be fair. That's why I love listening to radio and podcasts where I can't visually see things. Because the moment that I fall into an understanding of something where I have no visuals at all, it's exciting for me. It's like, oh my God, I got it through just listening. Yes, Riko can also be used to say smart. Yep, Riko-san. Oh, Riko-san desu ne. You're such a smart little kid. Transcript. What was her input about Amari? Oh, okay. She says Amari is probably the official way, and that Amari just might be something like dialectual, maybe. But she didn't know if I told her that because I grew up in Aomori, I thought maybe that's why I said Amari. But guess what? She lived right where I lived, and she said Amari. Now I don't know if could be theoretically because now she's in Tokyo. She uses Amari, not in Tokyo, but in Kanazawa. It could be, but I don't know. I just learned Amari and it stuck. I also say Amari. Amari te Amari iwanai. Nice. Nice use of Amari. Amari. When I say A shiteru uchi ni B, I always wanted to do just A, but did B as a but also did B as a subsidiary. Don't know what that means. Yeah. The Struggler says, I love these streams. You know what? I think there's a lot of value to them. If every now and then, while we're having fun, we can jump into something deep like this. And man, if we can call Japanese people, brilliant. I mean, it works really nice. 黙っていった方が利口だと彼は考えた。He thought that the one that was quiet, that had their mouth shut, was the smart one. 黙って方彼考えた. He judged it wiser to remain silent. Oh, ha! I thought it was 黙っていった方, right? Like person, but it's 黙っていった方. Yeah, yeah. It's being quiet would be. It was judged smarter. Interesting. I thought it was out of two people. The one that was quiet, 黙っていった方が利口だと彼は考えた. But I guess that would have to be maybe 黙っていった人の方が. I was assuming context that didn't exist. So I guess the verb ski is the exception to that rule. No. Nope, Big Perm, you are wrong. You want to know why? I'm going to blow your mind right now, Big Perm. Ski is not a verb in Japanese. It is an adjective, therefore it's ga ski. But there is a verb to like, and it is konomu. And it is o konomu. But it means to favor something. It doesn't mean to like it. And kirai also has a verb. It is kirau. And it uses o. It uses o. O kirau. Unless you put it into its passive form. Kirawareteiru, I am disliked. Then it's ga, because you can't be disliked it, but you can be disliked. Kirawareru is intransitive, sorry. And kirau is transitive. I hate those words, transitive and intransitive. You guys have forced me to use them. I learned it as aru versus suru. Shimaru falls under shimaru since it's aru. And shimeru is shimeru. Otosu would be suru since it ends with su. That's not a bad way. I don't know if it always works. Let me think. Let me think of some transitive and intransitive pairs. Okay. Hajimaru, hajimeru. How do you handle that one? I know hajimaru is aru. Eru has nothing to do with suru though. How do you handle that one? All right, so hajimeru, hajimaru. Why can't I think of good transitive pairs right now? Ochiru otosu was one. I guess I would call these natural transitive and intransitive pairs, but kaku kaite aru. No, it's different. I'm trying to do it without conjugating into something. I'm trying to have natural transitive and intransitive pairs. Hajimeru, hajimaru is always the easiest one. I'm just thinking of all the things we do in life. But most of those end up being a conjugation of the from active to passive, or transitive to intransitive, or no, it's active to passive. I do it versus it gets done to me. I can't think of any beyond those. I mean, shimeru, shimaru was a good one too. Aku, akeru. No. Aku, akeru. Ga aiteiru versus o akeru. Yeah, I don't know how that. I think it's a good hint. Aru. If it's got aru in it, then it's this. That might work. If it ends in a su, then it's this. But if there's a rule that has too many ways to remember it, it's hard to make a rule out of it. But maybe it's a good instinctual thing that works. And maybe if I looked at a list of these pairs, I would agree with you even more. I agree with you already, but I don't think it's as strong as I would like it to be to put it, like, for example, in a book. Do you ever see Genki used as sarcastically in his insult? No. Like if a guy's acting like an idiot, my friends will say he's very Genki. I don't think that's sarcastic. That's just putting a positive spin on it. If that smato is thin, I'll eat my foot. She sounds like an Osaka girl. You mean Yuki-chan? I don't know where she's actually in Chiba. All right, let's get past all of these. Okay, Aidani is B while A, where A has a definite end. Uchini is B while A, where you don't know where it ends. A to B to she got me laughing. Yeah, yeah, because she kept saying A to. If someone does A to B to she, I mean, I just came up with that right now. I'm doing it again because I think it's funny. A to B to she desu ka? Or you could be like A to B to she to D to. Like if you keep thinking, you need to add more letters of the alphabet. Ah, Yuki-sanが来た。上松ゆきさん。恥ずかしかったわ。There's Yuki-san for us. ありがとうね。ありがとう、Yuki-san. This is a 10-10 live stream. Hey, we finally got a good one, guys. We finally got a great 10-10 stream. It doesn't need to be a long time span. 一瞬のうちにとか。True. 一瞬のうち。That's true. Ohio. Oh, god damn. Skipped up. You see how that skipped up? I think a hitokoto covers all the ways to say while would blow up. The problem is that wouldn't be a hitokoto, would it? That's a three koto. It's not a hitokoto. Her answer is extremely Japanese and true. Yes. Melanie says the woman-only car exception, like in the West when the mom brings her son into the women's changing room at the swimming pool, etc. Little son, yes. This is my son, Jeff. He just graduated with honors at Johnson University. Come on in, son. Let me just get dressed. Kyle says, yeah, I swear people get stuck on synonyms and nuance differences without thinking about how they exist in their own language, and they don't fully understand. Well, let me say this, Kyle. When I write Japanese from zero, I constantly like to ground people in how English works. So a lot of times I'll say in English we do this. Japanese does a similar thing. Look at this. I love doing that. That's a common way that I because it's so easy for people to go, oh my God, Japanese is so crazy, it kills me. When you're like, if you think about it, English does the same thing. Every language has these things, okay? They eats is now proper because of the pronoun thing. Kyle, I'm gonna punch you in the stomach. Is that cool? Just once. Just once. I'm gonna hit you just. Can I kill you just once? I'm just gonna punch you and then kill you just once. This is not a threat. It's a joke. In case. What's that sound? Oh, it's my phone. It's my phone. Weird. The phone's being weird, guys. The difference between eating, having one T, and petting, having the two T's, is the voicing of the vowel, right? Baking has one. Oh, yes. Yes. That is one of the rules. There's another rule where, and I can't remember the example, if you have two syllables in the preceding versus one, it also changes. And I can't think of an example that has that. But yes, long vowel versus a short vowel does that too. Baking has one big K because it's A, but backing has CK because, well, that doesn't count because back is you're just adding ing to it. I don't think that counts. I don't think, would you ever add a K? Is there any word that has a CK? But yeah, but let's go with that. The Struggler says, I'm going to watch the live stream from the beginning. It's a good live stream. It's probably the best to date. Let's all upvote it, guys. Let's share it with people. Let everyone know that this is where the cool Japanese live stream is. There's a verb version of ski. There it is. Skiku. I don't know skiku. I know konomu. Is that hang on. Skiku. Oh, it's suku. Not skiku. Am I an idiot?
すく
Well, there's scuba. Normally you don't hear sku, you hear skareru, I think. I think you hear skareru, to be liked. But there's konomu, which is also written with this exact same kanji. So, but it means to prefer. And there's also konomi, preference. Is this to your liking? Oh, you literally wrote it. I didn't see that far. Sorry. It's mainly, dude, Shimawaza. I'm sorry. I apologize, dude. I took your thunder. You said it. You said it. It's not super common, but you heard it. Yes. Skareteru ne, Joji. Kodomo ni skareteru. Liked by children. I hear that a lot. James Good says, actually, that's a good example with that sentence, how ho could be kata or ho. If you were listening to the sentence, you wouldn't have assumed the wrong context. No, you could though. Out of the two people, which one? I might have thought he meant ho there, even if I read that as ho. But yeah, it's a good point though. If you heard it, it would have been kata versus ho most likely. Nobiru no basu. Oh, god dang it. There we go. Nobiru no basu. Hirome. So when I teach this, I say if it's got an e in it, it's probably this, and if it's got an a, it's probably this. I don't do aru and suru because the suru thing just confuses me. It doesn't really help. Akeru and aku, there's tons of them. Yeah, but the pattern is not easily set, right? Like look at akeru and aku. Where's the pattern there? But if you said no biru no basu, if it's got an a, if it doesn't have an a, I don't think there's a quick way to determine which one of these is that way. But if you have the English translation of it, then you know with the it method. Lead you to initially led you. Oh, I don't know why you split your. Is there a limit on the amount of message you can send? Neil says you only check for one of the two. Hajimaru is aru. So if it's hajimaru, you don't check for the other one. Okay. It won't work as a general rule. Fair. Yeah. I can think of fueru and fuyasu, heru and herasu. Well, hey, that's where they both have as and a su, but these would fall on the suru ones because they're active. So that breaks that if that was a rule that we made or some sort of hint, it breaks it with fueru and heru, right? Because think about it, fuyasu and herasu. Well, if it ends in a su, it's suru. But if it had the on it, which was my rule, it would be passive, intransitive. Kyle Spevik says, true. I don't know what he said there. I dispelled the myth that Japanese has three alphabets. Hiragana and katakana are more of the same as uppercase and lowercase. No, what are you talking about, Kyle? It's not true at all. They have three alphabets. And katakana uses things that hiragana doesn't use because it's used for foreign origin words. Yes, katakana is used to bold something sometimes, right? but it's not uppercase, lowercase. If you say that, people are going to start their name with a katakana and end it in hiragana. That's a bad way to teach it. Everyone ignore that particular thing that Kyle said. Other things he said is very, very good. I don't believe that you've dispelled. Oh wait, there was a 1 over 2. Hang on. But there are 2 sets of symbols that represent the same sounds. Sometimes they look alike, sometimes they look like. Yeah, I don't think. I don't believe. I'm sorry. I respectfully say that's dumb. I respectfully say that. I have a small question. If des makes node turn into nanode, what does deshita turn it into? Datta node. It's datta node, right? Des. Yeah. Deshita, datta node. Yeah, that's just a weird thing that the da becomes a na. It's a weird thing. Suki nano. I like it. Inu nano. It's a dog. Betting and beating would be a good one. Yeah. Kyle says, sorry, George. English is always changing and getting more confusing. English doesn't need to change to be confusing. If you go back 50 years, it was complicated. Kyle says, for real, this has been the most productive live stream yet. Keep asking questions. No, stop asking. I'm trying to quit. I'm trying to get out of it. I'm trying to leave. It's already 11:19. I want to be out of this. Okay, there's a 200 character limit. Good. Random question from Keith Hughes. I'll accept it. We'll take it. If you were to take Japanese private lessons in Japan every weekday, how many hours do you think a good amount / day with professional teacher 2 hours? How many hours do you think is a good amount per day with a professional teacher? 2 hours, then self-study with JFZ. Okay, so this actually is a thing I brought up this morning in a meeting after meeting with my friend in Sendai who said he does 20 minutes a day of conversation in English with a Filipino girl, right? So the Philippines really cheap. So they have plans where you could like pay 20 minutes a day. And I was like, oh my God, I want to do that. I want that so bad for From Zero. So I'm like, how can we do it without making it too expensive? There's no way. It's always going to be expensive. There's no way to make it cheap, okay? Because we have to make money. The person doing it has to make money. And we're going to be paying for Japanese people in Japan. So they're not Filipinos that are okay making $4 an hour. These are people that want at least maybe $15 an hour or somewhere near there, right? So here's the plan though. We would have a plan where it's like you talk to someone every day, 20 minutes in Japanese, any topic. I love it. I don't care if they don't need to be a professional teacher. They're not giving you a lesson. You're just using the Japanese that you learned. I want that. Now, if you think that, let's say you end up spending $12 or $10, it's $300, right? Now we probably could do, if we can get $10 for something like that, maybe we can do a 25-minute session for $10 or $12. But there's no way to really do it any cheaper without having decent Japanese people on the other end and us as a company making money, because we have to build the infrastructure for it, right? And we want to make money. So it's like, well, where do we put our resources? Do we put it between a system where we do that? Now, then there's the question as well, if you do it that way, we have to build a whole system to pay out the people for however many sessions they do. My solution is we hire people. We hire them on a salary and we crush them with lessons. We throw lessons their way all the time. And it's a fixed cost, and our goal is to get them to earning more than we pay them. I don't know how to do that, but it's a cool idea. Because there's 2 ways you can sell it. Do you sell it as a ticket system, where if you use it, then the ticket disappears? Or is it you can do it this many times in a month, and if you like the gym, but if you don't use it, you lose it, and then that would make it more profitable because most people would be paying for it. Like they'd be on, like, let's say they're on like a $99 plan, and they don't use it for 3 months. Well, good, we got 3 months built up of their money. So now if they use it every day, or they use it in the max in that 4th month, we've already gotten paid for it. And most people aren't. This is unfortunately the way things work. This is why recurring revenue, monthly plans are so much better, because most people aren't going to use it. That's the actual reality. So you don't have to allot, like if you have 100 slots, you could probably have 300 users and still not use all those 300 slots. Do you see my point? So it's a smart way to do it because you're still giving the student what they want, but you might not have to pay for it. There's enough people that will utilize it. And then if you just have to make sure that if that amount of people does use the system, you have to make sure you have the ability to expand it or refund money when they don't get their class. You have to keep it fair. If they don't use it, hey, that's part of the terms and condition. Like if I don't go to the gym for 4 months, I still paid for it, but I helped pay for the gym regardless, right? That's why the gym there's almost no gyms that have a policy of, if you come, then we bill you. It doesn't exist. You skipped the part where I said their usage was different. My point was that English technically has 2 alphabets. 2. We just don't think about it that way. I still disagree with you. Sorry, man. English has 1 alphabet and the letter. I mean, technically, okay, you have the capital alphabet and I'll give you that. Let's say technically 2 alphabets, right? But hiragana and katakana are actually 2 alphabets. Actually. Yeah, the sounds are there, but there's things that they do in hiragana that are in katakana that they don't normally do in katakana, and the way that it's used is differently. So I disagree. I don't like thinking that it's like capitals, but I agree with you a little bit more now. I'm a little bit less harsh on my criticism now. It's not super dumb. It's a little bit dumb. But here's the thing. As a teacher, I would never give that example because then you don't know how hard it is for people to comprehend all of this stuff. Well, I mean, maybe you do, but you haven't seen it over a 30-year period of teaching people. Or is it 30 years? Minimum 20 years. 20 years of teaching. I see people, you tell them that capital thing, and they will learn it as that. You get, for example, like English, technically has 2 alphabets. So Japanese is the same way. It's not. It's a different alphabet for different reasons. Historically, it came up in a different way. Oh my God, Kyle, these questions. I'm trying to get out of this thing, guys. We're already two hours in. I'm trying to get out. Can you cover the difference between janai, jang, and jane? Save that question for tomorrow. Someone remember that question. Isn't that why you recommend Hello Talk and italki? Yes. But I do recommend that, but what if we had a solution? I've always said I want my own italki, but I want to sell that solution. Because then imagine I'm saying, guys, no, we have a solution for that. Just get on the daily talking plan. Because there's people that would pay for it. I would 100% pay for that service. Think about it. A 20-minute guaranteed conversation every day in your target language, it's so worth it. So worth it. Even every other day is worth it. Dude, Kyle, how many questions you throwing up here, buddy? Can I recommend some ways to navigate conversation when it comes to a topic you don't have enough vocabulary for? Yes. Ask that question tomorrow. Ask that question tomorrow. Do a group chat so you can aggregate a pool of money. Have the Japanese speaker say something and everyone in the group can respond. Then that's already going to be a thing. That's called From Zero Live, and it will be going through what's taught in the lesson as a group, like 4 people max. We're already going to do that. I want a one-on-one system, a premier system that's for more than one, not for more than one person. I want a selfish plan. Ne is just an edgy way to say nai, right? Like urusei, urusai, urusei, or suki janai, suki janai, or sore wa shinai, sore wa shinai. It's just a vulgar way to do it. Edgy is not the right word. Vulgar. It's the people that say it that way are either very angry or just have no class. Like if I hear a girl saying like that, I imagine her hair is multicolored, tattooed, dirty, wearing gym pants, not dressed up nice. Like even in America, if you think, screw you, man, I don't care what you say, man, screw you, you piece of shit. Like guys that talk like that, if a girl talk like that, you're like, oh yeah, this girl has no class. It's a no class way of speaking. But you could say it when you're angry as well. Yeah, James, that whole group critiquing and everything like that, you're imagining people that really get the language. It wouldn't work. Now, if people are in a group talking, yeah, but even then, it's never equal. I've done enough classes to know that I'm always the best student. And I'm not saying that to be bragging. I'm literally almost always. I can't think of any time I haven't been the best student in the class for language. Korean, Japanese, I'm one of the best. At least when I was in high school, I was still learning. So it was maybe me and Steve Kobler. He was really good too. But in the end, there was only like 4 people in that class. It was all the best that were left, in the higher levels. In Korean, can't beat me. Can't beat me, man. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna have a class where you got a guy like me? It's gonna suck for the other people, because I'm gonna rule it, and it just wouldn't work, because the majority of people suck. Seriously, majority of people suck. Even in Japanese, it's such a hard thing to do. And I'm not trying to make you feel bad. You just gotta know there's a lot to you could already tell, even about what we did in this one live stream. The complexities of learning a language are huge, right? My advantage is I've been learning language for so long that I'm good at learning the language. I can figure out things probably quicker than other people. And in the Korean class, I'm superior, I would say, because of my Japanese knowledge. So I already know the grammar going in. I just got to figure out what grammar we're talking about in Japanese, and I already have the answer. So I have a way, way huge advantage. And there will be people like that. Watch the beta 5 classes. People were just, some people were better than other people. That's why everything is a subscription now. Yep. Well, think about, how could you buy one thing and then not have it be a subscription? Yeah, it makes money. Yeah, you're right. By the way, while we're talking about that, guys, FromZero.com, just $12 a month. Such a good value for me and you. Win-win. Blue says, are these streams on a regular schedule? Nope, they are at night. Or is it just when Joris feels like it? It's every day. It's every day. The time that I started while I'm here in Japan is just random. Keith Hughes says, interesting discussion. Thanks, George. Appreciate the comment. I would rather have a JFC content-based solution too. Shimewaza says, George, curious on your take. I noticed this speech pattern appear in Japanese about 10 years ago, especially with young people, prefacing with janai kedo. Ask that tomorrow. It's a good question. Because I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to get to the end of this. I'm going to go, guys. Saying right after, basically saying the same thing. Seeing the following Yahoo Chishiki entry. I understand it, but it always sounds... Look, I'll tell you. You can ask it again tomorrow, and I'll give you more information. It's like saying, no, but. It's just like saying, no, but. That's it. So, like, someone says... I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like everything at that coffee shop is expensive. Janai kedo, I mean, that's not it. But, it's just, they'll do it to themselves too, not just other people. They'll do it to themselves. Janai kedo, it's not that, but like they don't know exactly how to say it. They throw their dart, they get close, and then they go, Janai kedo. All right. Kyle says, true, there's a lot of people who self-defeat and are so hard on themselves that they never end up trying new things and getting good. Bestrafrong, I'm sorry I got here. I just got here, sorry I'm late. Yeah, Jesus Christ. I mean, I didn't send that message to anybody. Oh, God, I was supposed to put on Japanese from Zero that I was going live, and I forgot to. You asked me during the last stream to remind you about the Death Valley argument with the Japanese person. I already did yesterday. You missed it. Yes, it was a good story. Dan the man with the pants. Is the secrets of Japanese officially 100% totally dead? Yes. I remember you were taking some seminars about podcasting or marketing or something. Yeah, it's dead. I was teaching Japanese in kind of a new way, and I was coming up with new concepts. But eventually I was like, I'm going to end up teaching the exact same way. Like I don't think there's one way to teach Japanese, but there is one way that I like to teach Japanese, and there's a flow to it. So I should have continued it, but man, I just don't got the energy, to be fair. Does my younger daughter use Japanese in her grown-up life now? Yes, a ton. And she's way, way, way better. Oh, we're at the end. Woo! Look at that. Hecho Kami said, stop the stream. That's what we're going to do. Boom. It's over, guys. And as always, we like to end with music. Today, we're gonna go old school. I am sorry that I changed that button. It's not that button anymore. It's this button. I have to remember. Let's do that again.